Oh yeah, because you have an intelligence of
I do. I'm the smartest one.
bonkers.
I don't like
Yeah,
to
that's
toot my
right.
own horn, but
We'll let Brett do it.
All right, so Bright's gonna roll history.
that's not bad.
Okay. So here we are. Uh, we're back in the scene. You've picked up. You've gone through the wagon where we left off, and you know, Bright, you're looking at these older clothes, and they have a moldy smell or like just a dingy smell to them. And as you're looking, you know, you're holding them up and examining them, kind of. You've seen similar patterns before, and certainly similar colors, and it would appear that these clothes in some fashion match the sailor uniforms from the Imperial sailors you met in the Northport region of Mask of Flowers. Now, they're not exactly the same cut or style, but they do appear to be uniforms of some kind that are bearing the colors of the Shadowhar Empire.
Oh boy.
So,
Yes.
what he said.
That's a good summary.
Does anybody want to tell Taz? Are you gonna tell the party, or are you gonna?
I think she just told the party.
Yeah.
Oh, apparently Taz was off with flowers and picking flowers and whatnot.
No, it was while you guys were you went to the bar, and we stayed around to talk to some people on the docks. But then later there were more of them in the bar fight, which you probably don't remember because you almost got killed. But
What? Wait,
we're dressed kind of the same.
I don't remember almost dying.
Remember when you got stabbed, Tezro?
We don't talk about that.
Yeah, that's when.
We don't. He's gonna put a finger to our lip. We don't talk about that.
We should talk about how to not get killed, though.
We don't talk about that.
I wasn't talking about that subject in particular. I was talking about today.
Okay.
We should be more careful and not get ourselves killed, because we have people to look out for now. We have Jeroff, he needs us, and we have Little Boxy, he needs us, and we have each other. We need each other.
Hold on.
And we can
Explain
just
to
get
me
ourselves killed.
how did this Boxy thing come around exactly?
Just the name. Because he lost his father, and because he was an orphan, and then we decided that he would need a new name because he might have to go and be on his own, and he might need to grow up fast. So when we decided
Boxy.
but that was just the name we came up with.
He's not very square.
It's not descriptive. It's just a nickname.
And not to mention that aliases go a long way to keeping yourself hidden.
So are you saying that I need an alias?
That will make it
Jade
harder.
seems
I don't think
dumbfounded that Tazare knows what an alias is.
What is an alias?
See, but if you want an alias, you have to remember two different names. And
Well,
so that could be
I
hard.
do have two different names. I just don't know the other one.
you know how you were talking to me the other day, Taz, about how you wanted to use a nickname. It's kind of like that.
Well, but I mean, I have two actual names.
So do I. So does most people.
But no, not in that type of sense. I mean, I have two first names. I just don't know the first one.
Two first names? Like a first name and a surname?
No, like name before adoption and name after adoption.
Oh. Well, if you were too young to remember that would make sense.
Well, I mean, but being a dragon, I kind of want to know.
I know what the children call you.
What do they call me?
Scary.
Since the one, whoa. Did Insect Brain just call me I'm saying insect brain because they eat insects and they probably dig into you. Just call me scary.
No, that's what the children call you.
You kind of do have a frightening appearance to young people.
But I'm sparkly.
And
You
so am
also
I.
have teeth the size of daggers.
You,
But
and
I-
you
but
also
I
carry
also-
around a big axe and smash things very, very hard, Tazray.
But that's all part of the performance.
And
Yes, and young children find that very frightening.
No, like you can't just kill things. You gotta kill it with pizzazz, like pizzazzle. Pizzazzle.
I mean, I get what you're saying.
I mean,
but
they don't
still.
call me Taz Ray the Silver for nothing.
And they just call you Mayor Scary.
I mean, a lot of people
I
think
think
Jade,
we'll
that
call you scary now.
Jade, we're gonna have a talk, like a long, serious talk. Well, I think too many. I think you have an addiction. Okay.
To what?
We are not
Bugs.
pulling an intervention of the. We are not pulling an intervention of the
Oh,
road.
man.
Now let's just search this
Bags.
cart, get rid of the evidence, and then continue on our way.
Speaking of
No.
which, we should probably just burn the bodies.
Oh yes, burning.
Wow, that was very, very straightforward.
Yes.
Yeah, just
Well,
total burning. Just burn them. Not burn them.
You sure we got everything out of the wagon?
I'm glad
Well,
Is there anything else you use there, Matty?
May I do a perception check to look over the wagon again? Just
Sure.
to make sure that we didn't get everything?
Sure.
She's
Anything
currently
interesting.
unhitching the donkeys.
We'll need those donkeys.
Why are you
Yes,
unhitching
but we
the
got more
donkeys?
room.
For what?
Need to keep this cart. We talked about that last time.
Yeah,
mean,
we
earlier-
have to keep the car.
We have to keep the cart because they're expecting
Yeah.
it back, even though it's
We
got
have
a hole in it.
Tesserated bullet.
We repaired the hole. By amending.
Oh,
We
I
get
don't
it
know
over
if
the
we
goal.
can
Going
better
to.
Oh,
Haven't yet.
we've gathered the stuff and we're going to. And, yes, Tazray, we're level 3.
Excuse me, I don't know what a level is.
Celine, you are as you're
Austin,
searching
yeah.
around. There were, in fact, these little. So you found where these old, well, uniforms as Bright had identified them or kept, and you also are finding some coins. They're not in a super secret location, but you could have missed them otherwise. Give me a religion check.
I'm good at that. Ouch.
Natural one.
Double sixes.
Natural one. Wow.
Oh,
Didn't get to roll.
yeah, the
Yeah,
roll
we
didn't.
get those either.
Oh, there we go.
it goes.
There's double eights.
Yeah, double sixes and plus 2.
Oh, gotcha. All right.
Does that mean there's a wild surge?
Yeah, not in flower fields!
Yeah, suddenly from the vampire card, a fireball centered on Celine just.
Oh god, no, that would absolutely wreck me right now.
Oh.
Because no
All
one
right.
can fix me, and I don't trust Jade too.
So you're looking them over, and you're thinking, oh, this is well, hold on, this is these are old coins. I mean, nothing of particular significance is coming to your brain right now about them, other than it does look like that these coins that they match similarly to the ones that you were paid with before. So we're talking, a couple hundred years old before the official founding. I think this is something that Jade had produced, or at least that you had examined.
The early
And so you're finding, you're finding 14 of these coins, though unlike the ones in which you were paid, these ones seem to have a very gleaming. They're like gleaming silver pieces. That it looks like they've been polished, they've been maintained. The other coins, it's not that they were decrepit and rusting or some equivalent of oxidization, but these ones seem to be special because of their preservation and their immaculate nature.
Okay, I will note that down.
We might They might have magical powers, or they might have religious significance, or they might have like meaning to someone. Maybe if we keep them, they could even be like tokens that they use to identify themselves to each other. I don't know. I thought vampires could always sense each other, but maybe those are only in some of the stories. But maybe they use these to signify. So if we have their uniforms and a coin, we might be able to impersonate them if we need to.
Just
Very
as a
true.
point of order, do we know that they're vampires?
And Nick, so probably.
They weren't alive when you were fighting them. They weren't bleeding normally, and they did have sharp, pointy teeth.
I think it would be a knowledge religion.
Uh,
If I recall, undead falls under religion.
I could accept. Really, I could accept this in a lot of different flavors. It would just
By all
be
means.
how would you like to come to a reckoning of any sort of lore or an understanding of this creature? Do you want to try and understand them through a historical point of view, through a magical, through the arcane? You could certainly do this through religion if you'd like. So I'll allow any sort of lore check, but I will flavor the response based on your success and which skill you want to run it through.
Are we
Well, I
talking?
mean, if Selene was to do it, it would be religion because being a death cleric,
Right, and I would do it with
knowing about
Arcana.
undead would kind of be her thing.
I'll make our own rolls, or what do we do?
Well, first off, what's so medicine is for? Are you doing this as a lore, Jade?
Well, at this point, they don't bleed. They don't. They don't end up reacting the way they should. There's fangs. This is unusual in most humanoids, so that means that there is something a little off. Jade is wondering if this might be disease oriented.
Okay. With your examination, Jade, as the others are mulling over, the possibilities and lore, and we'll catch up to them there. Jade, you're poking dead bodies with a stick, and maybe a little bit more formal than that. And
No, probably less formal.
Oh,
More than likely
okay.
She's trying to rip out the fangs to end up looking at them.
Oh, sure. If you want to take your dagger and cut the fangs out of the gums, you're welcome to. All right, so Jade is playing
Somebody just
dentist.
need their wisdom teeth, because that's exactly what it sounds like.
Hey, oh, look at that. Nice. You got one. All right, so Jade is extracting the teeth, and yes, it does look like these creatures need to eat, but no, it doesn't really look like they have any sort of formal guts that are working as you might suspect. I don't know if Jade went through any sort of medical schooling here, or if kind of like Dr. Nick Riviera from The Simpsons, I went to upstairs Hollywood Medical School for those 2 weeks. And but they do look like they're atrophied on the inside. It does look like things haven't really been used as far as their organs. Now their musculature, their skin, the framework, what is making them, some kind of a meat puppet, that does seem to be in good order. But really, everything else is just, it looks like it hasn't been used in a great long while. And their fangs do have little holes in them. So it might remind you of I don't know, like a bug stinger, like really big bug stingers, since we're about the bugs right now. So that could be used possibly for injecting or ingesting. Unfortunately, you just have a fang, and you're not really, when you were bitten, you didn't quite, like hold on to the hug and say, so, keep doing that. I want to watch. Maybe next time.
The things we do for science. But this is only one example, so clearly Jade needs to get more. So she proceeds to walk to the next body.
I will actually help her in this because, well, you know, I was a surgeon, you know.
Okay, you want to help Jade
Fuck.
extract fangs?
Yeah, I'll help Jade extract and examine and see what she's like trying to look for. I mean, you know, if someone's trying to bite me, I prefer that they take me out to dinner first, at the very least. Like third date, come on.
Jade has a bag of bugs that she can give you.
No. She can keep her bugs. That's fine.
Rations.
Yes, but you need to keep your rations so that you can eat them.
Oh, by the way, speaking of which, Bright, your cricket friend, your female cricket friend, Sue?
Peggy Sue.
Betty Sue. Right?
Peggy Sue.
Oh, Peggy
Betty
Sue.
is the unseen servant.
Oh, that's right. Betty is the unseen servant. All right, yeah. Peggy Sue's been kind of laying low, you know, due to the rain and the activity and the fact that, you know, there's been a couple other of her probably relatives that have been eaten by Jade recently. She's just happy to be in kind of a warm, dry place inside your pink cotton candy hair.
It's very warm.
Um.
No, it's actually really hot to wear.
All right, so you end up with 14 of these fangs because there were 7 vampires, and they're all these kind of hollow, sharp fangs.
While Jade is practicing her dentistry,
Yeah.
I would like to cast Detect Magic as a ritual.
Okay, no problem. You have the time to do so, and the ritual goes off, and there seems to be nothing overtly magical. Nothing's glowing. They don't have like a medallion that has like a golden scintillating pattern, or any kind of a low key like red throbbing or anything along these lines.
My cricket. Is my cricket glowing? Can no one hear me? No.
No, your cricket does not glow. You're probably able to understand your cricket because of your ability to speak to cute things.
But I thought maybe, because this cricket seems smarter than your average cricket, so I thought maybe it was like an enchanted prince or something. But it's just a cricket. Okay.
You could kiss the cricket to find out, I guess, if you really want to. If you follow the old lores.
It's okay. We'll just be friends. We don't need to be that close.
Okay. Yeah, you got to be careful, dude, because like Jade goes for it, but then just forgets to let go.
Oh god, that's gonna be a weird situation.
I didn't even think of that.
I've got to restart.
Yeah, I didn't either. Yeah, I have to restart my brain after that. Hold on.
So we have, as you're examining, you're extracting here. There is another cart that is coming down the highway. Remember that the highway is this infrastructure that's built by the masons of Browbeat, made from the very stones of the earth that they're quarrying and shaping and such.
Yep.
Another cart is passing by here, and some kind of a merchant or a tradesman. It's a covered wagon, has all kinds of equipment on the side, maybe a long-term traveler. So we have someone here that this is getting the role play into what Pouty Lips had said, because we're not actually in the village Pouty Lips, but we can still work you in here. So there's someone who's passing by on the highway and is regarding you all, kind of has a bit of a pouty pucker, like, what's going on here? As the cart stops and, excuse me, do you need help? What's going on?
There was a problem with this other wagon. They had vampires. Look, they're vampire teeth, and they attacked, but we're okay. So now the vampires are dead, and we're not. It was the best possible outcome.
What
if
would
if-
you?
Vampires?
believe.
Like, are they? And he's kind of blustering and highwaymen. Have you been attacked? Robbed? This will not do. I have. Oh,
It's just vampires. They were just hungry, but we couldn't let them eat us because we're just not into that.
my. And he's blustering like a proper Englishman here.
Like, sir, we are fine. However, if you would like to render some assistance, we do need some help taking these bodies off the road, as well as this cart, and burning all of the evidence. You know about vampires. We don't want them coming back to try and bite us again. Even though we've taken out their fangs, they might grow new ones.
You see,
Here
it's
they are.
raining in my back and all, and he seems rather nervous. I mean, you're telling him vampires. Yeah, we killed every last one of them, and you have a traveling merchant who's kind of come across a murder scene to some degree or another.
Why would you tell a
Self-defense.
sane person? Why would you tell any sane person this?
Well, I mean, what could we make up that would make more sense than just telling them the truth? I couldn't think of anything.
We were
that is the
attacked
truth.
by bandits. We were
No, but they're not
attacked
bad.
Vampire
They're vampires. Look, you can tell by their teeth that we've cut out for some reason. I don't really get that part.
Wait a minute. Wait, hold on. If they're vampires, shouldn't we be able to like just remove their hoods and then they burn? Or is that something in children's books?
I'm not sure about that one.
Because that's all that I have.
Our children's books.
I mean, that is the thing. If we remove because they still have their hoods on. If they face their faces toward, like, if we remove their hoods, would they burn?
Happened naturally while you guys were pulling out their teeth.
Yeah, or would it?
They haven't. I mean, it's been overcast and rainy, but you'd have to pull their hoods back and whatnot to kind of practice the dentistry that you have. There was no signs of burning. Well, except the one that Bright really tagged in the face with that firebolt.
and that one that the one that I inflict wounds in the face as well.
Yeah, but that's not a burn. You just sort of like enervated or like shriveled up the flesh.
Speaking of which, can I chop the head off that one and put it in my bag?
Sure.
Why do you want it?
But
Why
that's-
do you want that?
Why would you want that?
I mean,
It's a
you're
trophy.
getting up us for harvesting its teeth, and you're like, oh yeah, I just want to cut its head off and stick that in my bag.
I mean, it's like a trophy.
The teeth are the trophy.
Well, they're skulls.
Eh.
I mean, we could peel the skin off slowly, you know, and we could, no.
It's emaciated and shriveled. What good would it do you?
And I turned one of them
Trophy.
into I turned one of them into a horror Capri Sun.
Jade looks to Selena and it's like, what do I even say to this? Like, I got nothing.
I
Alright,
stuck a
Jade.
straw in it.
Jade, should we take the bone? Jade, should we take the bones? Do you agree with me? Should we take the... Come on, Jade.
Mordecai walks away.
A sick, elderly old man and a scared child currently needing respite. And you want to take your time peeling out time of which we do not have. Unless you are going to manifest horses and carriage that can go all night and all day, I don't think that you have any claim to take up that sort of time. This merchant, on the other hand, we need safe passage. We need to end up getting over to a town. Yes, a town. She struggles with the name.
To Browbeat.
Beat them.
Why are you the only sane one in this situation?
It's just like, first off, I am completely insane. All I have said is that we have searched the car, we have found what we need to find. We will burn the bodies.
Oh,
Yeah,
Get
there's
rid of
nothing
the
else of
evidence.
interest here.
and continue on. And this will be when Celine will turn to the merchant and she goes, "Good sir, there is quite the tragedy that has happened here. After we clean up the road, it would be nice to have some company upon the road. So as big, so things like this don't happen again, shall we say?"
No, yeah, yes.
Is he going our way or the opposite way?
Stop being rude, Bright. Ask them.
I am also on my way to Browbeat.
Browbeat.
Yes. I things to sell, and I didn't realize that the highway was so dangerous.
Well, then, good thing it was us that got attacked and not you. Now, shall we deal with this mess, ladies and gentlemen?
Mordecai pulls out his tinderbox and starts like lighting all their clothes on fire.
I'll just set them on fire with firebolts. If we build like a little bonfire, so that because
Let's gather around the bonfire and sing our
we can just build a fire and then they'll all burn up.
Let's gather around the bonfire and sing our
We can
bonfire
even
song.
chop up the wagon. Can we do that? Can we break up the wagon and use it their wagon, not our wagon, and use it as like a tinder or like a bonfire?
Sounds like a good idea to me.
I mean, to be fair, if it's made of wood, we could literally just put the bodies in it, and then you could light the entire thing up using we didn't even have to break it down. You just light the entire thing up with fireballs.
Yeah,
Just a plain wagon won't
kick
really
it off
burn
the
very
side of the
well.
highway on fire. Just let it roll down, and
Just
It's on
Yeah,
the
I think we
fire.
if we should try to gather some branches or something to build under it to make sure that it burns. Because if it's just a wood wagon, it probably won't really burn very well. It'll just kind of
it needs kindling.
burn a little. Yeah.
well,
it's
if you need perhaps some oil or some other matches.
Wait,
Oil would be great.
wait, hold on. I have a gallon of ale. I have 4 gallons of ale. Let's pour some of it on it.
would probably make it better.
Ale doesn't necessarily burn as well as, say, other distilled spirits.
It does seem like a
Oil would be worth
bit of a waste. Bit of a waste.
Oil.
You said that you were a traveling merchant, so do you have a flask of oil?
But, most certainly I do. An accomplished, very accomplished merchant. Yes.
Oil. We need oil.
Yes, I will buy a flask of oil off you.
Very good. Just one moment, please.
What did she keep doing? Like he's like sticking his tongue out, like he doesn't know how to make the noise.
Desiree, he himself also suffers from the Dame Bramage.
What does that even mean?
The Dame Bravage.
Jade, you're just confusing him. It's fine.
My head hurts.
That's normal.
That's true. That's very, very true. I've only known
Hey.
you for like a short time, and you
Hey.
are already the most confused person I know.
Hey! I do know how to do axe stuff, and I can perform.
So can I. Yes.
Now, hang on.
Yeah.
Did you just use your dragon breath, but you accidentally inhaled instead of exhaled?
I almost want to say, because of the situation, I almost say yes, but no. Not that will come at a different point.
A flask of oil is a silver piece.
Yes. So you can purchase oil from him for a silver piece.
Yeah, I'll purchase a flask of oil from him.
Okay.
I have 4 gallons of ale. Come on, why can't we just use one of them?
Why would you?
Because
wanna
I would
waste
rather
ale?
drink the ale.
Because
Rather drink the ale.
Actually, give me some of that. I'm in pain.
ale's not really for burning. If you had some whiskey, maybe we could use that. But ale, it's really more water than alcohol, so it doesn't really burn.
Also,
Alright.
whiskey makes a really good fire-breathing agent.
Wait, maybe if I
It's
drink,
magic.
maybe if I drink whiskey, I could breathe fire.
No, if you had a tinderbox and some whiskey, you could breathe fire. If you were trained.
Oh,
So,
trained.
yeah, Mordecai is trained. He is a specialized performer.
Yes,
I
am.
will. We should perform together sometime. Fire and ice.
What is your specialty?
I got some ice tricks. I'm a gladiator. There's that. I know how to do reflections with my breath against my axe.
Reflections.
Like
You like illusions.
no. I mean, I can reflect my breath. Like it's like breathe onto axe and reflect it.
Okay.
And also, I do drunk poetry.
Drunk poetry.
It's a barbarian. It's a Cthulhu family thing. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
As you're discovering some Dragonborn culture here, others are loading the bodies into the back of the wagon, pouring a pint of oil over them, setting the wagon on fire, and kicking it off the side of the highway, or something equivalent to that.
Okay. I park by starting the fire.
Okay. Yeah, you're the one who shoots the fiery arrow into it. So it's not quite a Viking send off, but maybe it's a proper vampirical send off.
Let's gather around the vampire and sing our vampire song. The VAMPIRRFIRESONG song.
Almost got the combo, Taz.
He's gonna start beating his drum while he's doing this. He's gonna take out his drum.
Well, I suppose with the deed done, if there's no more highwaymen, that is to say, robbers or the vampires, we can perhaps take off. We need to be able to reach a particular milestone before the sun sets. I'm a man who needs my creature comforts, and there's an honor way in, not too far. No, not too far down the highway. I believe we could reach there. Let's see. The sun, west, and yes, we should be able to reach there by sunfall. Well, if we ride slightly hard.
I'd be all right with that.
Mr. Merchant, what was your name?
Yeah. Yes, my name is. Well, my professional name is, people call me Pouty Lips. That's because I have a magnificent expression. You see, it is how I'm known.
Hit me.
Okay, we'll call you Pouty Lips. That's a pretty fun name, actually. I really appreciate it. It's better than your average human name. Are you part gnome?
Oh, well, perhaps about, maybe about a quarter gnome by weight.
A quarter gnome by weight.
But obviously our rock gnome, because forest gnomes don't talk like that.
Yes, I do carry the weight. It is quite firm. And he pats his belly.
You said humans don't have interesting names, but I once met a guy named John Von Wongton.
Oh, wow,
I thought it was just us performers who chose ridiculous names.
Well, I mean,
apparently not.
He broke people's necks for a living.
Oof. I don't want to
he was an orc. Wait, no, he was a human. He was half orc, so technically human orc, same difference. Really, he was actually about like this tall, and he like goes up to his knee, he just like has his hand on his knees. He's pretty scared, little fella. I think he's only like 10 years old now. He's a scary kid.
Child.
He's a child who breaks people's name. Don't ask me. His family's really messed up.
I'd be concerned.
Oh,
Well,
no. Welcome to the world of Gladiator.
So,
Fair.
I guess, are we ready to head out? I mean, Pouty Lips can come with. He's got a nice wagon too, and maybe we can all travel together. But we should get on the road if we can, especially if we're supposed to get somewhere, because it's getting late and we might not have time.
Jade has already scampered into the back of the carriage or the wagon in order to check in on the two passengers we're supposed to be looking after.
Yes, in fact, Giraffe does give a bit of a wet cough that he's been maintaining now since he had a bit of a rejuvenation potion, but it has still caused his cough was kind of a dry wheeze that kind of before, and now it's a lot more like so you're getting kind of the burbling bluster of Pouty Lips from behind you, and from beside you you're just kind of getting like a and he does occasionally produce some phlegm that he spits out over the side of the cart.
Jade proceeds to look over them. She doesn't care about personal space or anything like that. She's like peeking under clothes, tearing at them, looking, wrenching the head to the side, checking this side of the neck, checking this side of the neck.
Tibba scampers over to Bright and just what no, I'm quite okay. You're a girl and I'm a boy, and you're not supposed to you're not supposed to do that unless we're married.
Child, wait, child. Child.
It's fine. Jade is just being Jade. It's okay. She's just being Jade. You have to make some exceptions for her.
I'm gonna put my hand on this child's shoulder.
Yeah?
Look. There comes a time in a man's life. Wait, you're a guy, right?
Yeah?
Okay, just making sure. Comes a time.
It's hard for humans to tell Dragonborn apart, and maybe it's hard for Dragonborn to tell humans apart.
Oh yeah, I don't think he's old enough yet. He pretends like he has glasses, and he like pushes up like imaginary spectacles. He's like, so there comes a time in the man or Dragonborn in my case, his life, where we must sacrifice our comfort to do the greater good. We must step out of our comfort zone to ensure the safety of the people we care about and we trust. And he has this necklace. I keep forgetting the men.
Voice cut out.
Yeah, your audio cut out.
Okay, so where'd you cut it? Where'd I cut out at?
A necklace that.
Okay, so it's a necklace I keep forgetting to mention, and it's a white scale and a glass like crescent moon.
Okay.
And he like clutches it as if he's like relating to something. He's like, there comes a time where you might have to do something you don't like.
I think I've already
Strong.
I think I've already done that. My dad took us out to go do the things that needed to be done, and well, you know what happened.
Well, you see, we have to check you because we have to make sure you didn't get bit. This would be one of those moments we have to step out of your comfort zone to ensure safety.
I assure you, I'm really not comfortable.
I assure you, like, this is the most important thing ever.
It's okay. Just tell us if you got bit. We trust you. Did the vampires bite you, or were you okay?
No, I was grabbed and I think he wanted to leave with me. He just kind of like held me under his arm, and was gonna move, but then, will you all save me?
Can I roll insight?
And well, I I appreciate being saved, but I didn't know it was such messy work. Because remember, Jade put in quite the number on the vampire there, and kind of got brain matter on our
exploded.
2 guests.
I think my head just exploded.
The road is dangerous, Toba.
That is an insight of 19. Is this a thing I can do?
I have no idea why you're rolling insight.
Yeah, what's that for?
Oh, I have to. Well, Taz, being Taz, he's a little bit, kind of kooky. So he's gonna try to roll insight to see if the kid is lying or not.
If you believe he's lying, that's really up to you. He's been through a lot, and you've been there for part of it with him, with his dad being aboard the ship, and being attacked by the men of war, being held captive. Well, not really held captive, but being held by the Port Authority until someone came to pick him up, and then you all broke him out, and then he's here with you all.
I think we can trust Boxy, Tiba. We can trust him for now. I mean, he doesn't want to get... Nobody wants to get bitten by vampires. I don't know why he would lie about a thing like that.
Yeah, that's...
Well, I've encountered my fair share of people, so this Dragonborn I may be stupid, but I'm not stupid.
I don't think anyone was assuming you were.
Peggy Sue just goes... And there's just crickets after you say that.
We have an actual cricket to make crickets.
All right, so further down the highway you all are traveling as you're discussing this.
Mordecai's napping.
Mordecai, yeah, you got to sleep that off, Mordecai. Pouty Lips does have a curative potion you could purchase from him if you'd like.
I don't know that we need to do that. Maybe, I mean, how far, Mr. Pouty Lips, how far is it to the inn that you knew about? Cause...
well, you see, we're heading in a southerly, and the milestone is by evening, miss, by evening.
I thought it was already evening. I don't know.
No, it's daytime.
It was daytime, because you had you were traveling for, like, you woke up, you first encountered the vampire wagon, and then you got back on the road, and then they were coming the other way after a short while, and then we had this encounter. So you are still continuing on this day after your second run-in with the vampires. So evening is approaching. It is certainly going to be here sooner than not, but it is not nighttime just yet.
Well, why don't we, everybody who's hurting maybe can ride in the wagon and maybe take a little rest, and then if you're feeling okay, maybe then you could look after us, and then hopefully by the time we get to the little bit rested up, and it won't be so hard. And if it's an inn, we can all have a good night's sleep and not have to worry about things like keeping watch and all those things that normally have to happen.
That sounds like a good plan.
Selena's being the party teamster, yes?
Yeah, she's the driver.
Okay. Alrighty. So you continue along, and in all honesty, it sounds kind of like it would sound like a small parade of like Ford Model Ts, because you have Pouty Lips kind of burbling in the back, and then you have these wet coughs and other in other noises coming from Jeroff here. So as you're kind of bouncing down the highway, it's just sort of and despite his verbal proclivities, Pouty Lips does sing out quite he does have a resounding voice, and he's not afraid to sing and hum and otherwise kind of bounce along. As he puts it, it does help the journey go by more quickly. So he is singing some traditional songs of Mesomasca, and it does sound like Mordecai to you. He might even know the infernal language, as he is able to pronounce some of the words, at least through song, with very little common accent.
Do I know the songs that he's singing?
Yeah. These are all very traditional. These are traditional traveling songs, especially for you being a lore bard. He's replaced a couple parts with maybe his own experiences, but the cadence, everything about them is a very traditional setup. He's just inserting his own, maybe his own take on it, or an experience that he's had along the road that he's filling in.
I see.
And evening falls. You do pass by a couple other wagons that are some you can see in the distance because you're all traveling about at the same pace. And there's a couple that are coming from the other direction. They're, none of them are, run for your lives, or, the sky's on fire, or, I'm a vampire, now you are too, nom. It might create for some tense moments, but as you all go by, besides Pouty Lips kind of soliciting them for anything they might want to purchase for the road, you all continue, and we'll now go over to what is known as an honor way in. And this an honor way is a form from the common on our way, though it's been kind of, for lack of a better term, it's been franchised. So you have the honor way in, which isn't quite the same as a tumbled wench. Like, this is a quaint kind of a bed and breakfast, as opposed to a fully serviceable, you can find entertainment, a room and board, relatively safe, clean place to stay, that you'd get at the tumbled wench. Although, if rumors are to be believed, the tumbled wench actually owns and operates honor way inns throughout Mesomasca as kind of a secondary business, or just another way to extract
it's like
money.
Howard Johnson's by Marriott.
Yeah, there you go, exactly.
Yeah.
So I hope you all, do you have your reward cards?
Maybe I do. Maybe I do.
Being a dragonborn, my scales are my reward cards, so I have many reward cards.
Okay, but which one did you use last time?
Oh God, which one was you?
As you're pulling up, you do in fact see that there's a gentleman who's outside lighting some light posts. There's a barn and a couple outlying, a couple other outlying maybe houses. This isn't exactly even a roadside village. It's probably the house of the people who run the honor way in, and maybe like a neighbor or like some people who farm out here as well. But, even calling this a village or a hamlet would be, a very egregious exaggeration of what's
like
happening
hamlet.
here. Yeah, well, so I guess a hamlet would be very small. I think the technical definition of a hamlet is a village that doesn't have a church. Well, this doesn't have a church, so I guess that fits. But yeah,
it's all about farming. It
you're
doesn't have any industry.
Oh, okay.
Maybe they're a commune.
So here you have this very quaint, this is probably the best looking building of the couple you're seeing here. And there is a man out in front as the sun is setting who is lighting lampposts. And the rains have subsided. It's chilly. It's a little overcast. The mountains are still in the background because the mountains are always in the background. And as you're pulling up, Pouty Lips gives some very happy burbles. He's blustering. I certainly hope that they have, stabling and enough room for us all. I very much appreciate what you've done for me, and I will make sure that I will pay for your beast of burden. In the stable, as a thank you for not murdering me. A joke. A joke.
We would never murder you, sir. You seem to be a very respectable individual, and you're also not a vampire trying to bite us.
No, no, no.
So, yeah, no, well, if they have stabling, we'll stable up and head inside and have an actual rest for the night.
It would be so nice. I hope this inn is safe. Mr. Pouty Lips, do you know, is this inn pretty safe most of the time? Does anybody sneak into your rooms and do bad things?
No, it is safe. Very, very quaint here. Very quiet, except for the bugs. But what can you do, really? Oh, yes, what can you do, I say?
I make friends with them, and Jade eats them, so we can do things.
Well, that's that's your business. But anyway, yes. Let's go to the stable and make our arrangements. You all clop, clop, clop. He and Haw. Yeah, they haven't been too talkative since the fight. You know, every once in a while you will get the he. As they are also making their way down and entertaining themselves. There is a stable off to the side, and sure enough, the old man, he greets you from atop. Hello, travelers. Hello. Well, if you're here to rent a room, we certainly have it. We have a little bit of space left as far as a proper room. Although, well, depending on how many of you are inside your carts, we might be able to offer you a stable option.
Stables are okay. For me, anyway. I don't mind. As long as it's safe.
Yes, safe and dry and very clean. We make it a point to scoop the poop very frequently.
Do I get a sense about how big, like how many customers would be inside this tavern?
A tavern is also a very generous description. This this is
It's a halfway house.
Yeah, you're halfway there. Yeah, it is a very large country house. If its maximum occupancy, I don't know, maybe 20. Inside that, now the stables are also large, and you do see that there are a couple other wagons that are pulled up beside the stable.
Okay, so I go up to the innkeeper and kind of ask him, how often do you get entertainment this way?
Oh, well, entertainment? Yes. Well, we have traveling entertainers that do come by, and, well, we don't have anyone that is, hired. We're not a tumbled wench, after all. But we do have people who are here. I propose, or I suppose that you propose, that you would like to perhaps provide some entertainment in exchange for room and board.
That is exactly what I suppose.
Well, you're neither the first nor will you be the last, and I say that with all due respect. We're very happy to have entertainers here. Yes. Well, allow me to finish lighting the lampposts, and I will go in and I'll meet you at the desk. Why don't you go talk to our stable boys and get everything arranged with them, and we can come in and negotiate your rates and where it is you'll be staying. It sounded like the little missus down there was looking to stay in the stable, which is perfectly fine. I do not judge you at all. We're happy to have your business here at the Honor Way Inn.
There wasn't that much room. So I don't mind the stable. I'm not very big and I don't take up very much space. And besides, I like the animals.
Yes. I'm sure you could just hollow out a hay bale or something and make a nice little nest for yourself there, ma'am.
Yes, I definitely want to see about arranging that.
All right. So Pouty Lips makes arrangements for the room and care for Hee Haw and your wagon, and you are assured by one of the stable boys that he stays up all night, and watches over the stable and the carts to make sure that there's no funny business from people. And should anyone come close that ought not be here, he will holler like the Dickens. to make sure that everyone knows.
Okay.
Oh, I'm gonna walk over to my pal, my new friend, Mordecai.
Yes.
So I may or may not have overheard because I was literally standing right next to you
Yes.
that you were going to perform, and I happen to be a drummer.
Drummer and a violinist.
Uh,
Unless they have a piano.
I mean, they might.
They might. I've got my own if they don't.
So
Just pulls out an entire grand piano.
So you know, I was wondering if I could well, I wouldn't say accompany, but assist your performance.
Well, I can definitely see where a drummer would be very useful in a juggling act or a fire-breathing act of some kind. I also play music, of course. But just, yeah, I think I could use your help.
Okay, that sounds good. All right.
You can't make me look bad, though.
Oh, sometimes I bang my head on the drum. It's okay, I'll pass out. I'll bang you. It'll be fine.
I'm not sure how I feel about that.
Oh no, I sleep drum all the time. It's okay. If you hear any loud noises in your room, it's probably me.
Noted.
All right, so your incidentals are tucked away, and Pouty Lips goes in and makes an arrangement. He's apparently staying in the one. It could be considered the suite of the inn or of this roadside motel. He wishes you all a very good night, and he hopes to continue traveling to Browbeat with you first thing in the morning. Of course, after a good old-fashioned country breakfast, which these people are known to produce.
Country breakfast? There's no complaints about a country breakfast here.
Before bed, I would like to make my unseen servant.
Okay, do what?
And I'm going to have her organize the hay so that all the pieces of hay are aligned in the same direction.
Oh,
Okay.
Very meticulous about how she sleeps.
No, it's just so when the stable boy comes in the morning, he'll wonder what happened.
It's just a screw with the stable boy.
Okay. So you do that, and then there's a couple mice that are hanging out in the barn too, and they watch what you're doing. You have a conversation.
Okay. Hello, little mouse.
Well, that was awfully lewd.
All right, so you're going to arrange that, and so for the rest of you, Mordecai, he's already convinced that if you're offering to entertain, and he tells you that depending on the how well you perform, he can adjust your rate, or even give you a free night in exchange for providing the entertainment. But he would like a quick sample of what it is you're capable of doing, because it might be something that the locals here, in other words, like the 20 residents of this very small hamlet or village or whatnot, he might also want to bring them in and watch. Because look, you all are their entertainment. you travelers that come and go. So go ahead and give me a cursory performance, just to show a little bit of ankle about what you have going for you.
Curse performance? I can try.
19.
Okay, so you are juggling? What are you doing?
Doing a little bit of everything, just kind of sampling.
He does ask that no fire be breathed in the inn.
Fair. I will simply juggle the flasks.
Okay. So yeah, it's a juggling show. Oh yeah, oh yes. The family would love to see this. You do seem to be quite accomplished. Unfortunately, I have had charlatans come through, and they do. Their performance isn't exactly welcome, if you understand my meaning. Though it does seem like you're the real deal.
I am.
And you don't have to
I
use
understand
magic either. That is also a bonus.
Not at all. I could, but I don't have to.
It's not necessary. We much would prefer to see your natural talents. Okay, so he leaves to go get, the other villagers who are going to come by and see what the outsiders are doing for a show. The rest of you, what would you like to be doing?
Jade is...
Well-
Oh, go ahead.
No, I'll actually let you go first because I had another thing and it was like, wait, no, that's a bad. Don't do that. You go ahead first.
Jade is currently in the same room as Avalanche, since spending more coin that's needed. Feathered beds don't do her well. Not normal. So she ends up spending the night attending to making sure that the grizzled old soldier is at least comfortable. Though as she does so, knowing full well of his blindness, she starts to look into the mirror, and she pulls aside her clothing, and as she ends up looking at herself in the mirror, she looks at the marks on her side, the bites, watching it fester, and the maggots drool out. She starts to pick at it a bit, just trying to make it stop. She's wondering, watching, will it continue to fester? She wonders. She has no idea, though she wonders if this is what would have happened to him too.
Another juicy cough shakes Juroff as you're examining yourself and thinking about festering and other things.
I'm so sorry, old soldier. I did not wish to wake you.
Oh no, it's oh, please, I haven't slept very well in a great long while. You're fine. Are you well? You sound distant in the room.
I'm never well. You know this old soldier. She starts to almost leer over his bed. Her hair is hanging only an inch above his face as she looks over him. I'm trying to understand things. I'm trying so hard not to. I can't sleep. They come to me, and I think such horrible things. Such horrible things.
Oh, you poor woman. And he reaches up. I mean, he feels your hair dangling or whatever. He can feel your breath puff as you speak. Like, he reaches up and his old gnarled hand kind of, it comes up and caresses your cheek. There now. There. You've done much. You're far too young. Far too young to carry such a burden. Oh, I can tell you. I could tell you about carrying a burden. Oh, my poor back and muscles. But you know what, Jade? Jade, that burden will strengthen you. It will strengthen you if you let it. It will support you. It will help you grow. I wouldn't have been able to live this long had I not toiled in the mines and in the quarries to build my strength, to build my family. It was hard work and it hurt, and I've suffered my fair share of sickness and broken bones and loss. I've suffered loss, Jade, in my life. But please, just... Oh, I'm tired. Let it strengthen you, Jade. Let it strengthen. And he caresses your cheek once more. Oh, such hair. Would that I still had much.
She presses her face into almost like a cat does, right? This bit of human contact. Not many would dare. But she looks at him. It worries me. I love him so. I really do. And I hate him so much. Sometimes I think of all the ways he hurt me. And then I think what he could have done, what he should have done. And then I think on the ways I could pay him back for it. I think and I count the ways like sheep. And the last time I got to 482, and I haven't even gotten to his legs yet.
Oh, you poor. He coughs and kind of like a little globule of mucus kind of lands on your cheek. Oh, my poor Jade. Oh, well, I don't know if I can offer you help any more than, well, an old man providing a beautiful young woman. I have no reason to believe you're not beautiful, Jade. I can feel your intention, I can hear the passion in your voice. You are beautiful, and you must accept that. I can certainly help a beautiful young woman with some advice. And then he kind of...
Sleep well. Sleep well, old soldier. Remember before who I was. No, I am now. No. 487. I think I'll start with his knees.
Well, we fade then from the room that Jade and Jeroff are sharing. And as you all are making arrangements, Mordecai, your fare will be adjusted. But for Jade and because you have a room proper here with Jeroff, it will cost 4 silver pieces in order to stay, and you'll be given a country breakfast in the morning. Mordecai, we'll do a performance, and then we'll adjust yours. Celine, are you staying in a room as well?
Yeah, I'll stay in a room.
Okay. So it'll cost you 4 silver pieces, and you also have the promise of a nice country breakfast in the morning. Now, Tazray, Tiba, aka Boxy, has asked that I want to listen to what you have to say. You do seem really strong, and you can be scary, but I don't think you're all that scary. Or if you are, you don't mean to be scary. It just seems to happen. And well, but I also like Bright, and Bright has taught me a lot of different things. And I know Bright is staying in the stable, and I want to stay with her, and I kind of like thinking of camping. I'm so used to sleeping in comfy beds. I have a very comfy one at home. And I'm kind of I'm on an adventure with you all, and I think staying in the stable will be fun, but I'd also like to talk to you too. So, Mr. Tazray, would you be willing to sleep in the stable also with me and Bright?
Yeah, sure, why not?
Oh, thank you. It'll be like a camp out, kind of like what we've done, except hopefully there won't be vampires.
Yeah, let's hope.
Okay, so Tazray and Bright, well, and technically to cover for Tiba as well, to stay in the barn is going to be 1 silver piece, and that will still get you the country breakfast, and they'll actually offer you they have a special bath that they'll heat up in the morning. So if you want to. Oh, Sawfang, thank you very much for that 12 viewer host. Welcome to you and everyone who came along with you. But they also have a bath, so if you don't want to wake up smelling like hay or mammonals, then you have your own bath to do so. Brosade raid? Well, hello.
Oh, we're getting raided.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Sawfang came over with a group of 12 raiders. Sawfang says we're here to plunder and take the spoils of war. Well, if that's the case, Sawfang, then so they've just stopped off at a very quaint country inn that I suppose you could ransack for a little bit of coinage and maybe some sawmill gravy and biscuits.
We have to fight Taz Ray first.
Fight!
Sawfang, I heard from a fellow carman that you do D&D and FF14. Yes. I don't really broadcast the 14. I have on occasion every now and again, but I do play that. But primarily, yeah, tonight, every Tuesday is our play night. And then Wednesday through Saturday, we go over role-playing, we'll make characters, talk about rules, help people learn how to play, etc. and so forth. That's right, Sawfang. They're going to get a good old country breakfast here in the morning. Arthron of Fire, thank you very much for the host as well. I play on Hyperion, Sawfang. So, welcome. Thank you also for the follows. Welcome aboard, everyone. The party's just settling down for an evening after traveling before arriving at their hopefully not final destination, but at least one of their destinations. Yep, Sawfang, if they survive the night, it'll be an awesome breakfast, I promise. What? I mean, what?
Oh, boy.
It's the last breakfast.
I want my biscuits and gravy, damn it!
The gravy's crawling away again.
Taz Ray will die and come back 3 days later.
Jade, what did I tell you about animated gravy? Don't do it!
There's no escaping me. None.
Sounds like eating adventure. So we're really just turning this into a roleplay mukbang or social eating stream. So we're all just going to pretend to eat some really good food in front of you all.
I did have some food.
Oh, wow. As Taz Ray just drenches everybody's food in ale. Drinking before noon. The game.
And that's just the game, not even the pregame.
No, the pregame is mixing all the ale together.
Voice cut out.
The pregame is mixing everything together.
Ugh.
Oh, snap. Sawfang, thank you very much for that. Sawfang, what this is going to allow you to do, by the way, is you have now become a fickle god. And you, with the 500 bits, you can have some kind of an influence on the story. You can offer some sort of boon or bane to the players or to me as the DM. If you want to prompt some kind of a story element, you can do so. You can, I don't know, just work it out. Let me know what you'd like to do, and you can hang on to that and save a PC if they're in a clutch moment, or I don't know, you could.
No one take first from me for right now.
No.
Spawn tentacles like Zar did.
Yeah, you could you could spawn a tentacle that continuously haunts Jade.
It's my constant companion. Makes me sad to know nobody else sees it. And they're blind.
But you
Sawfang says,
haven't seen it.
I offer a boon to the players who may need it for the approaching doom. All right, and so since Sawfang did donate $5 of bits, I guess how I'll translate this is you all This is going to count as sort of a floating extra inspiration point you all have. So you all have 1 inspiration point. And then, now, if any of you have used your inspiration, we haven't quite gotten to refill those yet. Actually, who's down on inspiration?
I didn't know that we get
I
one.
don't think any of us have inspiration.
Okay. Oh, if...
I have inspiration.
Okay, I'm sorry. I if I didn't say so, or I at least presume that you all started with 1 inspiration point at character creation for being inspired.
None of us knew that.
I
Okay.
know
None of us
we
do
did
that. No,
All right.
Nobody do that.
Well then, sorry about that. Putting together the game as I did then. So what you have is all of you are sitting then. Well, unless someone had inspiration and used it, right? Was that Jade or no?
I think that might have been Raphael.
Oh, okay. Then, so you have inspiration points. You can add that to your character sheet. And then for tonight, until the end of the session, you have this floating inspiration point you can use in some form or fashion. And remember, you can give inspiration to another player. It doesn't just have to be for you.
Yep.
DJ. Okay, so DJ is locking in how he wants to be a fickle god. That only leaves Darkwolf then with an outstanding. As these gods are standing around the arena and your little miniatures are all there and they're pushing them around laughing and saying, wouldn't it be fun? Darkwolf is shrewdly hanging on to her small boon in what will happen. All right, so for those of you inside the inn, it's a very wonderful, you have stuffed straw mattresses, so they might poke a little bit now and again, but they're generally comfortable. Your quarters are clean, kind of small, but there's some quaint, like a painting, or there's like an old wagon wheel, just to give a little bit of flavor about this place. You do have a pitcher of fresh water, and of course you do have you have a bedpan, so if you need to use the restroom and you can't make it to the outhouse, there for your convenience. Oh, I'm sorry, Darkwolf did send something. I'm not over in my... you know what? I did not get it. Hang on. Yeah, Darkwolf. Unless you sent it to me through Discord. Hang on. If you did, then no. I'm sorry, Darkwolf. Maybe Twitch ate your personal message through there, or I don't see a message on our Discord that you sent to me about what you want to have happen. So if you can resend it, let me know, please. Okay, so Tazray, you are sleeping out in the barn. I mean, look, you are a gladiator. You've slept in worse conditions on worse objects. So you know what? A pile of hay in a relatively warm barn, it's not so bad. Yeah, please resend it, Darkwolf. Tazray, you're woken up, and not by a country boy hollering at the top of his lungs. You get a kind of like a tap 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 tap.
What? Fire!
As you look around, there's actually very little light. There's maybe like there's some of the light, the lamppost light is coming in, and there's maybe like one lantern hung by the exit of the barn that is shedding very weak, dim light. But as you're looking around, Tazray, you can hear the sounds of sleeping. Otherwise, there's a couple other people who chose to stay in the barn, or they came late. By the way, Mordecai, we'll get to your performance, but I want to go through this here. A couple other people snoozing or snoring. Maybe the tramp of an animal, kind of like stomping out a place to lay down. as you are looking around, you're like, okay, no fire, no fighting. You see, you actually see Tiba, or AKA Boxy. And he is lying by the exit of the barn. But that wasn't where he was sleeping. But he seems to be asleep by the barn entrance right now.
So Tazray is fairly confused as he cannot find the thing that poked him. Please stand up.
Yeah, you have no idea what was kind of poking your face or like pinching your nose or whatever.
I'm gonna flail my arms around me in a very, very panicky manner.
Okay.
Trying to see if I can touch anything.
Yeah, you feel the hay around you. You can. Yep, these are your cheeks.
I will exit the barn. I will carefully step over Tiba. See if there's anything outside.
Okay. Sure. Go ahead and give me a stealth.
All right, come on, big dragon man, you can do this. Come on, big boy dragon man. All right. Stealth. Don't know if that rolls. Let me check.
If you hit something, then okay, there we go.
Seems to be kind of laggy tonight for some reason.
Yeah.
12, but I'll use a point of inspiration.
So what you can do is declare you're using inspiration before you roll to give yourself advantage, or to cancel, and then after you've modified the roll, then you can make the roll.
Oh, okay. Well, I didn't know that. All right.
Yep, you're fine.
But it was only 1 point, right?
I mean, had you have used it, it would have given you a 13 instead of a 12. I saved you.
Oh well.
I saved you.
So. Yeah.
Okay. So you're trying to, you're moving quietly. You want to see what's going on, and as you go to step over Tiba, your foot, like it's kind of caught up on him. Like you're trying to take this you're going over, and it makes a little bit of noise. But despite you not quite tripping on Tiba, he does not make a sound. And so as he was kind of like, as he was curled up in front of the barn door, he now sort of like rolls over, and you see that he is staring unblinkingly up at the barn ceiling. And even in the dim light of the flickering lamp above the exit to the barn, you can see that he looks very, very pale.
I'm going to listen for a heartbeat.
Okay. So you're leaning down. You're almost in the entranceway here of the barn. Go ahead and give me a medicine.
All right. Oh wow, this is the one skill. 9.
Okay. You are fairly certain that there is no heartbeat, and in fact, when you're touching him and you're putting your, I guess, you have this kind of like eardrum on the outside, and that's your ear because it's sort of like a hole in the side of your head.
Yeah.
So yeah. You're putting your ear to his chest here. There's no breathing and no heartbeat, and as you look at his non-blinking eyes, you see that on the side of his neck there are 2 holes with only a little bit of a dark trickle coming up the side.
I'm going to check my neck to see if I was also bitten. Or that's what I'm assuming that happened. Because I was like, 2 holes. 2 front face.
You feel the marks of where you were bitten before, but you don't feel anything fresh.
Okay. I'm going to like do that thing where I like slide my hand over the person's eyes to close them.
Sure.
Okay. I'm going to wake up Bright because this is not a good situation to be in alone. and I need some.
All right.
I wouldn't say assistance, but I need a leash to be put on before I can do anything crazy.
Ezra understands this about himself.
The largest, most physically imposing party member is looking for the smallest, least physically imposing member to be the leash. As you stand up, you hear some kind of like a rustle or a stir going on outside the door you're next to. You can still go and try and find Bright, but you're hearing some kind of movement outside.
At this point, I'm just gonna go towards the movement.
Okay, so with go ahead and make one more stealth check to see how quietly you can slide the barn door open.
All right. This I will use my inspiration for.
Sure.
Okay. There we go. All right, and 14.
Hey, there you go. It's better to get 10 points out of an inspiration than 1, huh? Okay, so unfortunately, there's a couple little or rattles as the wooden door slides, but it seems like these very quaint country folk do keep things, fairly nice and greased up and in good working order.
Yeah.
Now it is dim light, but you can make a perception check at disadvantage in order to look around and see what's happening.
Okay.
By the way, One Crit Wonder, thank you very much for the host. I hope your Tomb of Annihilation game went well.
I should have saved it for that.
Okay. So you do not make out any details, but given the little bit of light that is shining out of the barn, and with whatever is whatever latent moon and starlight is out here, you see a figure, a dark silhouette, standing maybe all but 15 feet away away from you, and almost in defiance of the darkness, you get kind of a glint of eyes, and you see slowly revealed is just a row of white teeth that actually have 2 fangs sticking down.
I am going to slowly back into the barn and alert Bright, who is currently sleeping.
Okay, so you're kind of, and as you do so, this figure is keeping the distance between you, and as it steps into the lamplight of the barn by the door, you see that there's like a maybe 4 feet tall at most, but you see a vampire, blood, seemingly fresh blood, kind of coming down the sides of its mouth. White sparkling fangs, all the same, and even has on the clothes that are they weren't the oiled rain slicks, but these are like the old uniforms that you found of the Shadhar Empire, the colors, these uniforms you found in the cart. And so you've stepped over, you've tried to examine what's going on here, and this figure steps forward, grinning at you.
Alright, before you do anything, Brian! Intruder! Brian!
Okay.
Gonna respond to that.
Say that again. You said you're not going to respond to that?
Well, I don't imagine that I will.
Okay. So you start going bright, 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 and this is now causing some of the other people are kind of stirring, like, well, cut it, cut out the noise. I'm trying to sleep, and then he and Ha are just going, hey, and the other one very tiredly just goes, ha. And you go and you almost like. You almost stumble backwards as you catch your feet in this emergency situation here, and suddenly the figure just it looks like it's gonna lunge forward at you, and then in a moment it just disappears or becomes invisible or something happens where it's no longer visible to you, and so you fall and you're panicking, looking around, and. Was this a dream? Was this real? What's going on here? Because now you see that I mean you're looking and there's a very clearly dead Tibba, and the barn door is open and people are kind of going, what, huh? What's going on? And what we're gonna do is I need to get up and take a break to use the restroom and such. So we're gonna leave off on this as a little bit of a break cliffhanger for you all.
Oh my! That was. Such a Matthew Mercer. That was such a Matthew Mercer, right?
And we'll be back in about 10 minutes to continue and pick up where we have left off.
Bye, kitty.
Mercy was actually cuddling on my shoulder for probably the past 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And just like, okay, I'm just gonna no sudden movements.
Love the kitty cats.